Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's Claytano. Thank you so much for tuning in as always. And today's video is sponsored by Era of Chaos, the brand new Hero Collector game by Ubisoft. And today I'm going to be giving you guys some tips and tricks and guiding you as a beginner throughout the game. Now, if you guys haven't already downloaded it, go ahead and do so using the link in the description below. And let's get started. So, jumping right into it here, I'm sure you guys know all the common sense things to help your progression as fast as you possibly can. It's making sure that you're using your resources as efficiently as possible and doing so at a progressive rate. Now, if you're not spending money in the game, that's perfectly fine. I'm also going to teach you guys how to be as efficient as possible without all that extra pay to win stuff. Now, if you guys do end up paying to win, that's perfectly fine as well. Just still make sure you're using your resources correctly, because I, for one, did pay to win and I use my resources incorrectly. And there's people that pay less than me that actually use their resources a little bit better. And I'm trying to help you guys not make the same mistakes as I did. So, aside from the obvious things like making sure you're completing your daily missions every single day, because experience is a very important factor of the game and you get a lot of extra experience from your daily missions. For me, I was just like trying to level up my units and max them out as much as possible, but I didn't realize that, oh, there's a bit of an experience wall. So if you don't get past certain levels, you can't actually continue leveling them up, and experience starts to get very expensive if you continue to refresh it. So for one, since we're on the energy and experience topic, energy is 1 for 1 with experience. So you spend 1 energy, you get 1 experience throughout the entire game, no matter where you're spending it. Doesn't matter what level you're at, doesn't matter what scenario you're in, it's 1 for 1. Now, I tend to refresh energy up to about when it starts to cost 300 diamonds, because I feel like at that point it gets a little pricey. Now, if you don't have as many diamonds to actually get up to that point, just set yourself like a daily budget. If you're getting a certain amount of diamonds per day, just know that, okay, I'm gonna allot this many diamonds to experience, and then know that that's your progression maximum, right? Now, everything in the game, pretty much everything that I found, does have some type of diminishing return. So the more you refresh something, the more expensive it's going to be. So making sure that you're kind of spreading things around evenly and not getting too far into one thing. So even with summoning units, like definitely want to summon a couple units. Like they give you a good amount of free diamonds early on when you're starting the game through like completing quests and stuff. Use some of those into summoning, but don't just start spending everything into summoning, because guys, even if you get a 6-star SSR unit like I did, which is a 6-star bone dragon, even if you have like all these 6-star units, there's ways that you can make your power much higher and have much more success by using your diamonds elsewhere. So before we get back into units, I want to talk about artifacts, because artifacts I feel like are something that I slept on and wish that I hadn't. But these are probably, in my opinion, the best way to increase your power in the game. Like this is it right here. And they are very expensive when it comes to cast stones. So meaning you always want to make sure that you're getting cast stones wherever you can. You can allot some diamonds into getting cast stones here. I typically don't, and I especially don't now because I'm kind of low on the whole diamond situation right now. However, there's other shops that allow you to purchase cast stones, one being the campaign shop. So once you complete the campaign every day, you want to make sure that you're getting the cast stones. I feel like this is probably one of the best ways in order to spend your campaign coins is on cast stones, and then spend your extras if you have too much on purple crystals. And what I mean by having too much is that once you start refreshing more, it starts to cost more. Again, it goes back to that diminishing return. So I only refresh when it's like cost 50 coins. Once it gets up over that, I'm like, okay, I'm not going to spend more than that. So if I have some extra coins left over, I'll go ahead and put them into purple crystals. I don't typically buy the blue crystals, but purple crystals are also pretty rare to come by. So making sure that you're buying those is also very important. Now, with artifacts, because cast stones are kind of your wall, so to speak, you want to make sure that you're hitting certain levels of your artifacts and not really overspending on ones that you're not going to get. So for example, this is level 11, right? And you get extra bonuses on your artifacts at level 2, 5, 8, 11, 14, 17, and 20. And that's on every single artifact that you have. So I have enough to get this one. I had enough artifacts to get this one to level 11, but I don't have enough artifacts to get them all up to level 12. So I'm not going to overspend on these ones yet, even though I can get these to level 12, because I'll be wasting cast stones that I could potentially save and get, say, this one. I can actually upgrade these to level 8, potentially even higher. Nope, I can only get them to level 8 because you can see here that it's 3 out of 3 and I don't have any more extras. So this one would be a much better use of my cast stones, and they start to go really quickly. You see that I have about 3,500 cast stones, but once you start upgrading a couple of these things, boom, they are absolutely gone. So you have to be very, very careful. And you can see here, I kind of over leveled this one a little bit, and I understood that I'm, making a mistake a little bit by doing that. So I stopped. There's also another situation here where I got this one all the way up to +8, and it's entirely over leveled over everything else. Like, I'm not even close to getting these anywhere close to level 8, and I could have used those cast stones on other things earlier on, and I started getting smart to the fact that cast stones are very, they're a valuable resource. So don't make that same mistake that I did. Make sure you're hitting those level points, because that's when it gives you the most upgrade. And then be sure you're using your cast stones extremely wisely on top of that. Now, when you are looking at the shop of things to buy, monks are really, really good, but I don't really think that spending 120 diamonds on 3 monks is really worth it. However, you want to make sure that you're getting these whites if you're looking for more support units. But let's actually talk a little bit more about units as a whole. So units as a whole, meaning which ones should you be focusing on early on. So after you start figuring out which ones you have upgraded, like how, let me take a step back. So the way that I chose which units I wanted to start focusing on were the ones that I had the most pieces of, and that I can get up to 4-star, 5-star, 6-star, whatever star grade I had the most of, regardless of the rarity, was going to give me the best power from what I saw. And it's pretty true. So you guys can start to see, like, oh, you have this unit up to 4 stars, so you should probably start working on that one. It's pretty good. And focusing on about 8 units to start off. If you start focusing on way too many units, you're gonna run out of unit experience really quickly. And you guys are probably gonna think you're gonna have so much unit experience in the beginning, but once you start getting up to like level 50, you're gonna be like, oh, I don't have actually that much unit experience. I can only focus on a couple. And if you're trying to spread yourself too thin and trying to go for like increasing your roster and stuff like that, it goes really quickly as well. It goes almost as much as cast stones. So you guys are going to think you have so much extra resources, but really just hang on to them. Be careful of what you use them on, because they'll just all of a sudden be gone, and you'll be wondering what to do next, and your progression will be kind of halted for a little bit until you start to get that extra unit experience back. So be sure that you're only focusing on about 8 units. Those 8 units, make sure that those are the ones that you have like the most stars of or the most pieces of, so that way you can get the most power for your buck. And then after you start to understand which ones you have the most pieces of, pick one that you're going to make your carry. So like for me, I made Bone Dragon my carry because that's a 6-star SSR unit that I got really lucky with. But just start building your team around it. So I was like, okay, well, these are Necropolis. Necropolis works well with my Lord Heart hero. So I picked Lord Heart to be my hero. And then I also had the Black Knight, and I kind of just made all of the Necropolis units, as you can see here. Skeleton, this is a R unit. But because I'm using all Necropolis units, my Black Knight gets a little boost from having extra Necropolis units with him, so I'm actually putting more Necropolis units instead of using like Ogre or Orc or Demon that I have up to 6-star, where I only have Walking Dead up to 4-star even, which is kind of sad because this is also just an R unit as well. So that's little things that help you throughout the way with your unit choice as well. It should be pretty straightforward. Just make sure you kind of follow this this suggestion. Of course, there's so many different avenues that you can take. There's so many different scenarios where you might have a completely different carry than I had, and you might want to level up a different hero that goes better with it. So just be sure that you're kind of focusing on a hero that matches your units. There's a whole bunch of different types, so just, I would say, read through them and make sure you're using one that kind of fits your playstyle as well. For me, I am going to use my universal shards. These are also super valuable in the game, so anytime you can see that you can buy those, whether it be in like the arena shop or something like that, or the champion shop, make sure you're getting those as much as you can, because it just gives you a little bit extra flexibility. Unless you see a champion that you really want to use, or a hero that you really want to use, and there's a champion shard for that specific champion or hero or whatever, go ahead and buy those, of course. But for me, I can't buy Lord Heart shards, so I'm forced into buying the universal shards, and I just need a couple more in order to I need 24 in order to make my Lord Heart 4-star, and that's going to be a huge power upgrade, let me tell you, once I get that taken care of for him. But yeah, guys, I think those are the main things. Spending your resources wisely, being aware of diminishing returns. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop those down in the comment section below. If you did like this video, go ahead and leave a thumbs up. Again, thank you so much to Era of Chaos and Ubisoft for sponsoring this video. And aside from that, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay soupy, there'll be potatoes, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, peace.